More trouble for Binance Exchange. Binance does know how to always get into trouble. The matter with world governments hasn't been resolved yet, and new troubles have surfaced for the Binance. In today's video, we'll discuss these in length. Hey crypto lovers, it is Crypto Billionaire, your friendly neighborhood crypto and financial education channel. Disclaimer: no author of Crypto Billionaire YouTube channel guarantees any losses incurred while investing, as we do not provide financial advice, and crypto markets are high-risk markets. The sole purpose of the information posted on the YouTube channel is for education only. So let's start with the roots of the story. Canadian cryptocurrency trader Fawaz Ahmed saw the price of Ethereum dropping. He knew it was time to get out. Unfortunately for him, he couldn't. Ahmed was trading on Binance, the world's largest digital currency exchange by trading volume. And on May 19, Binance experienced a major outage, which meant that for about an hour, he was unable to exit his position. That day, Bitcoin and Ethereum hosted their biggest one-day drops since March 2020, with the entire crypto market losing roughly $1 trillion in value. When prices fell below a certain point, Ahmed's position got wiped out. His personal losses came to about $6 million. This loss was not fair, Ahmed said. This is something which was out of my control. Binance's customer service team gave Ahmed an absurdly low offer of compensation. Ahmed is one of hundreds of investors expected to take part in arbitration proceedings against Binance, seeking damages for the money they lost when the cryptocurrency exchange went offline. Binance responded that it was unable to comment on pending legal matters. One spokesperson commented, "Our policy is fair in that we compensate users who experienced actual trading losses due to our system's issues. We do not cover hypothetical what-could-have-been situations such as unrealized profits." Binance has experienced several outages over the years in times of heightened volatility for virtual currencies. That can be costly for traders, especially when prices are plunging. Binance recently cut the maximum leverage customers can take on futures financial derivatives that oblige investors to buy an asset at an agreed-upon price at a later date to 20 times from a previous limit of 125 times. Binance wasn't the only crypto exchange to face disruption to its service on May 19th. Coinbase users were also temporarily unable to access its site. Bitcoin plunged as much as 30% to nearly $30,000 that day. It has since recovered to almost $50,000 since then. But the issue for traders like Ahmed is that they don't know where to hold Binance in court. Changpeng CZ Zhao, Binance's CEO, has previously said the exchange has no official headquarters, and that makes it extremely difficult for investors to figure out how and where to take the company to court. But a group of crypto traders hopes to change that. With the help of Liddy Capital, a little-known Swiss private equity firm providing litigation financing, nearly 1,000 people are expected to join arbitration proceedings in Hong Kong to seek damages from Binance. David Kay, Chief Investment Officer of Liddy Capital, said this is a landmark case for the industry. He also stated that Binance is the first company that has ever grown to any size in any industry, much less the financial industry, where there is no regulation. They have no home. They have no headquarters. They have no office. Kay also added, the only place where Binance has said they have jurisdiction is in a Hong Kong International Arbitration Court. This will be the largest consumer international arbitration in history. Liddy Capital began working on the Binance case after receiving a call from Aija Legionis, an independent lawyer working with a group of crypto traders in France. Legionis specializes in international arbitration cases. Binance's terms of use say that any legal dispute must be resolved through arbitration at the Hong Kong International Arbitration Center. Arbitration proceedings, unlike class action lawsuits, aim to settle disputes out of court. The format makes it harder for the average consumer to make a claim, as claimants have to pay arbitration fees and additional costs, for instance, traveling to Hong Kong. Individually, that could set each claimant back an estimated $65,000. To cover those costs, Liddy Capital has promised to provide a minimum of $5 million in funding. White & Case, a New York-based law firm, has been hired to represent the claimants. Abby Cohen-Smutney and Daryl Liu, two White & Case partners based in Washington, D.C., and Hong Kong-based partner Melody Chan will serve as their lawyers. Let's see what will happen in this case. The unregulated firm will win or the people. But we can say one thing. Crypto, a nascent industry, is still largely unregulated. While some firms in the space like Coinbase have sought to build rapport with regulators, Binance and many others operate mainly outside the purview of established rules. That hasn't gone unnoticed by regulators who are racing to catch up with new innovations in financial services. Two main concerns with crypto are a lack of protections for consumers and the risk of money laundering and other illicit activity. Binance, in particular, has attracted attention from authorities in multiple countries. Britain's Financial Conduct Authority recently banned the firm's UK subsidiary after finding it failed to meet anti-money laundering requirements. Meanwhile, financial watchdogs in Japan, Canada, and Italy have issued warnings saying Binance does not have the authority to operate in the countries. To add to Binance's woes, the company lost its U.S. chief, Brian Brooks, who was formerly acting head of the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, a U.S. banking regulator. But on the bright side, Binance is now trying to comply with authorities, because the financial authorities of multiple countries have warned against and shut down Binance in their domains, while the crypto exchange also faces a probe from the Department of Justice and the IRS into potential illicit activities. Now, in order to appease regulators, Binance has been devoting considerable resources to scooping up employees with government experience. These hires include former executives with the Financial Action Task Force, Max Backus, a former Democratic senator, and former U.S. Treasury investigator Greg Monahan as its global head of money laundering. Additionally, Binance is courting Singapore Exchange's former chief regulatory officer Richard Tang as its chief in the Asian financial hub. But despite all ongoing debacles, Binance US expects to raise additional capital from an anticipated funding round. According to CEO Zhao, there is significant interest from top-level investors, and they expect they will close a round shortly. The Binance CEO also spoke of how the company would be working to further legitimize itself through its investor base. For instance, he stated that Binance US will have a diverse cap table with reputable investors and an independent board with proper governance, including the addition of new outside investors and independent members. This prospective funding round would come shortly after the resignation of recently hired Binance US CEO Brian Brooks. He had earlier been looking to raise at least $100 million from investors, according to the New York Times. Zhao also expressed confidence in the exchange going public in the US in the near future, modeled after Coinbase in the spring. Although its US branch says it's independent of Binance, the exact ownership structure is unclear. Earlier this week, Zhao himself stated that his top priority is to hire people with compliance and regulatory experience. The Chinese Canadian recently admitted that he is spending almost all his time on compliance and is not really involved in the day-to-day operations of the exchange. So what do you think about this whole situation? Will the Binance CEO be able to revive the company from this point, or the slow death from this point is inevitable? He sure seems confident about the situation, but let's see what'll be the results. Let's hear your thoughts down below in the comments section. Also, be sure to like and share it with your friends and family to keep them updated. And one last thing. I don't know what it is that you're gonna do with that red color button below. You know what? Just click it. I don't know, man. It must be changed from red to gray. I really don't like that red color. We'll be back with another interesting story soon, but until then, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.